So advice, I won't even put it as an option. I'll advise people to take up internships. First, today's workspace relies heavily on skills and job
Experience.
skills and yeah, the value you bring. So many hiring organizations are not caring much about the degrees you bring to the table or whatever qualifications you claim to have. It's about hands-on experience. What can you do? And I would say without any competition, that's internship. That's which meant uh, taking a pay cut was one of the best decisions I took in my life because it put me to where I am today. In most of these organizations today, it's about what you bring to the table, what solutions are you bringing to their needs, and also the first place to start for most people seeking to work is build your skills, and those skills will help you chart a career. But it's no more about the qualification you have. You might have the right qualification, you might have what it's about hands-on job skills. So if you get an internship, by all means, jump, take it, learn skills, and that will determine your suitability and workplace.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. The next question I actually have is for Mariel. I think I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I have a feeling.
It's actually a French name. It's Mariella.
Mariella.
Yeah. Mariella.
Mariella. That's going to take a lot of practice.
No worries. Mariella is fine, or Marielle. It's all good.
Okay. So I know you mentioned obviously you have experience as a coach, and you've worked in different cultural settings. What sort of advice would you give, or are there any actual courses that people need to actually enroll in, or just to learn how to manage working in different cultural environments? Because obviously, if you're Nigerian and you're working in an international organization, you're going to meet massive mix or a massive pot of different kind of individuals, different cultures. Some things are acceptable, some things might not be that acceptable. For example, when I actually worked at the Swedish embassy a few years, long time ago, we had something called fika, where we sat at a table every Friday. It was just like a mini lunch, just for everyone to sort of get to know each other and discuss and kind of wind down. And I think the first or the second time I attended it, I had a lot to eat, and I sort of put my hand on my belly, like just to show that I was kind of like filled up. And the reaction I got was everyone sort of panicked. Like apparently in Swedish culture, that's a sign of dissatisfaction if you put your hand on your belly. So little things like that. Is there anything or any courses that you would recommend people get involved in to sort of get a sense of the different cultures when they work in an organization? Or is it just a case you learn as you go?
I think the good thing is, because of the globalization going on now even more at the moment, that people are more, I think, open-minded and flexible when it comes to people expressing themselves differently, which is a very good thing. But I think when you come new into an organization, then always take a back seat first. That's what I would advise from my own mistakes that I've made as well. Just see how people interact with each other, how they eat their meals. Almost be like a child in a way, like just be completely open-minded and see how they're doing things. Because if you want to be part of an organization that is different than your own culture or your own background, you do need to have an open mind. So it's really important to just dive in such a way, like open your mind, make notes maybe for yourself, the things you see, how people interact with one another. Of course, you can find things online, and you do have courses, but it's not all about the courses. I did find one that might be good to look into if you really, if a lot of things are very new to you, which was futurelearn.com. I don't know if that rings any bell to some people, but you have lots of courses there, from both universities to basic free courses on communication in intercultural settings and things that might help. But I think when it comes to the textbook, you can know a lot and still make a lot of mistakes. So I think you don't want to become unnatural, that you feel awkward all the time, kind of thing, because you've read in a book somewhere that this should be the way they communicate, and therefore they don't do that, and you feel like they might not like you because you don't do what they ask you to do. Or so I think just observe, make notes, and if you want to join an organization for you want to apply for a job or for an internship, do your research. Find out who owns that organization. Is it run by Americans? Is it run by, you mentioned Swiss people? All these cultures are very different. And also you are allowed to make mistakes. People, even though they might laugh at you or like, why are you doing that? Because some cultures, like the German and the Swiss and the Dutch, they are very direct. So they will tell you like, they tell you off straight away, basically, and it's kind of very confrontive. The English are not like that; they're not very confrontive. But don't feel offended. Don't feel like you don't know anything, or we all need to start somewhere. And I think making certain mistakes as well, you learn and grow, and it doesn't make you any less than anybody else. You come with your own culture, your own experience. However old you are, it doesn't matter. And you have a lot to offer, and just believe in yourself. I think that's the key thing. Believe in yourself. You come there for a reason, because they know you can do it. So believe you can do it and learn about the cultures. And see it as an exciting adventure.
Perfect. I like that. See it as an exciting adventure. And you're obviously going to make mistakes. And because we live in a modern world where people are more accepting, you probably will be allowed to make those mistakes and learn from them. Thank you very much for that. And then I have one other question as well for Mr. Atayi Babs. So, oh, you can hear me. That's perfect.
Yeah.
The question really is, are there any requirements that you need to become a multilingual communication and reputational management strategist?
That's a good one. Well, to become multilingual is just to speak, let's say, 3 languages.
Yeah.
So, and it depends on what is considered as international languages and local languages. And the argument is still very rife across Africa that some people believe that Swahili is not an international language. Some people believe that Amharic is not an international language. Some believe that Hausa is an international language. So, but once you can speak close to 3 languages, including your own native language, you can, and as long as you can defend it, that so that's what makes you multilingual. And then not only to speak, but to be able to write, because most times you are judged based on your capacity to read and write. There are levels in it. Your excellence level in both writing and reading is and speaking. Writing, reading, and speaking. So these are the 3 aspects that you have to consider. Now, coming to reputation management, I think there was an aspect that I missed in my introduction, and that is the fact that for me to go into reputation management, I had to go for a course. I have to go for a course training at the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, which is known as APCON. APCON is the body that certifies advertising practitioners in the country. And so when I took that course and became a chartered advertiser, I realized that there were some gaps that needed to be filled, because everybody who goes into advertising just thinks that, in Nigeria particularly, just thinks that, oh, advertising is just what is there to do. But right within advertising, I discovered that there was a gap, and that gap is reputation management. Most companies, most individuals in Nigeria are not into this. So just a few, 1 or 2 persons or groups are into it. And this is largely attributable to the fact that lobbying isn't a serious venture in Nigeria and in most parts of Africa. So that is what gave me the leeway to go into reputation management. A lot of people will mistake reputation management for PR, but they are totally distinct. As much as they have links, within each other, they actually different. So those are the things you will need certification. So to have a good background in reputation management, you need to be certified. Because with the certification comes with certain responsibilities, that are incumbent on you to abide by.
Okay. Well, when you, for example, to get certified, what opportunities are there for you out there? What opportunities do you have available to you? What kind of places can you apply to? Or is it a situation where you become self-employed, or do you?
Yeah.
Places you could apply to?
So, okay. Yeah. One thing I always encourage graduates to do basically is after you leave school, there is need for you to look for an institution or an institute that is, into certifications that will train you in some. There's need for you to get some skills, just like Joe talked about. There's need for you to get skills, and one way to start from these skills is, to go and get some enhanced studies in one of these. So for the purpose of our talk today, which is on communications, I always encourage Nigerians, who I'm sure should be the majority of our participants here, that if you want to make a career in communications, upon graduation, after your NYC, while waiting for one job or the other to come, you need to identify which area of communications you want to go into. Is it media? If it is media, which aspect of media? There is Nigerian Institute of Journalism that gives certifications for print media, and I think they also have broadcast program. Then if you want to go into broadcasts, FM, radio, TV presentations, you can also come to Lagos at the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria Training School. Voice of Nigeria also has a training school in Ikorodu. These training schools will equip you with, practical skills on how to do presentations. Most times people graduate from mass communications from Faculty of Arts across Nigeria, and they don't have this experience or hands-on training. For some departments that have broadcasting stations like FM, like Unilag and BUK and Kaduna, yeah, they may have some of these experiences, but most schools do not have. So if you want to go into broadcasting, you need to go to such institute and get, certified, and then get some skills that, you can even go to do IT in some radio stations and TV. Now, for the Nigerian Institute of Journalism, they give you a certification they give you training on how to write stories. So if you want to go into online media, you want to go into print media, you get that training from there. And then if you don't want to go into media, Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria is there for you to go to. And even with a WASC certificate, you can start at different level. Now with a first degree, you jump in straight to the professional side. And then within 8 months, you're able to pass your exams to become a certified advertiser. And that gives you the right, as a chartered advertiser, to establish your own advertising firm, to establish your own reputation management firm. And then that gives you the right to do a whole lot of things. It also gives you a good standing with your first degree to apply to advertising companies that are already in the billion naira range in terms of the advertising industry in Nigeria has grown in leaps and bounds over the years. And so it's a good place for people, graduates, to go into. Now, if you don't want to go into advertising, there is public relations. We have the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPI, and they have a couple of centers where they write exams across Nigeria. And then if you don't want to go into public relations, we have the ICT centers, that gives certifications in networking, that gives certifications in software. In fact, the engine around the world today is cybersecurity. So what stops a graduate in Nigeria from getting certification in cybersecurity? A lot of institutions during the NSAS were afraid of being hacked. Nigerian police has always been hacked. The EFCC website has always been hacked. So a lot of organizations employ cybersecurity experts. So these are certifications that you need. I know for some of us, like me, I had, as at the time I was in my second year in university, I was already freelancing for this day. I was already writing maintaining a column in these days. So I didn't have to go to Nigerian Institute of Journalism to learn how to write. But it's not everyone that's, that's gifted with such skills or talents. So it's important to get, and then of course for me too, even with what I was writing, there was no way I could go somewhere and say, oh, employ me because I am good in writing. And they'll tell you, what certification do you have?
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. I think everyone on here, plus myself, we've basically gathered that the first degree is not enough, because the first degree just gives you a fighting chance. It gives you a chance in the very, very, very competitive job market. And then you need to do a bit more. You need to get certifications. You need to actually take advantage of internship opportunities. And when you get in there, you need to learn to adapt to new cultures as well, so that you can have a successful career. We have there's a question I have on here from Tobo. It says, how can I get internship opportunities for media and communications? I really need hands-on experience. I'll just throw that out to the floor. Is there any one of the panelists who would like to answer that question? So the question is, how can I get internship opportunities for media and communications? And Tobo really needs hands-on experience.
If I'm allowed, if I attempt to first stab at it, so there's no silver bullet answer to that, but he needs to, the person asking the question needs to look out for opportunities online. Oftentimes, when I see some of these job adverts that pop online, the organizations that are looking for interns, ranging, could be British Council, could be private organizations who have a thriving communications unit. So try and sign up with some of these job portals, and you'll find that, because I've seen a good number of them myself. Then also speak to people who work in different sectors, in development, the NGO space, in civil society, in media, in communications outfits, in advertising agencies, like the last speaker referenced. You ever know, speak to people, tell them you're interested in job experience, in diplomatic missions. I know some big diplomatic missions to allow people come in for job experience. There's no pay attached, but the value you get out of that is worth more than the pay angle to it. So I think those are the ones that come to mind. I want that. Again, sometimes this might be a long shot, but sometimes just knock on doors and ask. Sometimes, say, are you willing to take on someone who wants to learn what you do here? And you never can tell. There might be, if you knock on 100 doors, 3 or 4 might be willing to. You never know. So it's that. So look out for these online opportunities. Search for use the keyword search for internships. I've seen that, so they do exist. Speak to people who work in these spaces and knock on doors, and you just can't tell.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think you never stop trying, because you never know. It might be the 100th door that you knock on that would actually open up for you. So keep applying, have a presence on LinkedIn, talk to people who are actually in your space, get advice from them. Message them, obviously not every second, but message them to get advice, to get guidance on how to break in. And you never can tell. Sometimes that person will be would have the keys to the door that you're trying to break in through. Okay, thank you, everyone. We have
sorry, if I may respond to that question as well. You said, how can I get internship opportunities for media and communications?
Yes, that was the question, yes.
Yeah, and that means, you're putting together media and communications, or either media or communications.
Okay.
But one sure way I can tell you of getting an internship opportunity in media, if it's print media, is to write. Many newspapers and magazines have space for opinions of people to send in their opinions to publish. Most times they even look for some articles online, they download and put on their paper, because people are not sending. I remember when we were growing up, we used to do letters to the editor. So as secondary school students, we're writing letters to the editors, and we're always getting happy when the editors get to publish Concord, Guardian of those days, when they get to publish our letters. So if you start writing, start developing your writing skills, or start testing your writing skills, over a period of time, even the editors will get to know you, and they can invite you, or you can now go there and introduce yourself. I am this person. You have published about 4 or 5 of my articles, and I want to really have the newsroom experience. That is for media. And you can do the same thing for broadcast. If you know that you have a very good voice, record your voice, call radio stations, send, try to do voiceovers. So you need to start doing something beyond also knocking. Because when you knock, they want to know, are you just coming here to use our internet and, use our papers and occupy space? And especially in these days of contamination with virus, many offices are prone to reduce number. Okay. So beyond knocking, it's important to put your best foot forward, write something, do a recording. Then when it comes to communications, of course, do not limit yourself also to organizations and companies. You can get in touch with NGOs. A lot of NGOs that I know in Nigeria and elsewhere that are actually in need of hands to train on communication. So, and most NGOs practically live on communication. They communicate for visibility, they communicate for its existence. So when you meet an NGO and you say you want to volunteer, NGOs are more than always willing to take people as in volunteering positions for communication. Thank you.
Yeah, those are very good points.
Very good point. Yeah. I agree 100%. So apart from knocking on doors, we need to do a bit more to put ourselves out there so that we put our best foot forward and we develop our actual skills. So if you are trying to be a print media journalist, for example, you need to actually start writing to differentiate yourself from the pack, basically. So we do a bit more, we knock on doors, but apart from knocking on doors, we knock on doors with content and with value. Perfect. So what I'll do now, I'll just if there are no other questions, there are no other questions in the chat. So thank you very much. Tobo says, thank you for the valuable feedback. I'll pass it back on to Mrs. Ayabina. Thank you to all the panelists for answering questions and sharing your experience. And I'll just hand over to Mrs. Ayabina for the wrap-up session. So Mrs. Ayabina, over to you. Just do the quick wrap-up. And let us know what's next, what to expect.
Okay, thank you once again. Thank you so much for joining this. Thank you to all our facilitators for making yourself available. Normally, to give you share your experience like this, I'm sure you'd want to receive cash for that, but we thank God that we have people like you ready to mentor, ready to share your experience, ready to share ideas with people. And we believe God will bless you for that. Please, there's a poll here. Please, if you've not responded, help us. Just click, it's just 4 questions. And then the last one, write your response in the chat room so that we'll know what topic we could talk on next time and who to. We would like to do this maybe twice, every 2 weeks. So we'll have new topics. And please, could you please try to share our adverts with others so that they would know, or young people, so they would know that these sessions are available. We had about 88 people registered, and we just have 14 now in the chat room. So I don't know, maybe people have forgotten or something. We sent out reminders yesterday, but anyways, thank God we were able to get at least this number of people, and I believe that those of us here have gained something important. And thank you so much for joining. We try to keep to time, and this is the end of this session. Please share, let your friends, cousins, relatives know that we have paid sessions available too. So if you want an extensive time with a mentor, we could organize that, and of course it will be paid for. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and God bless.